Wow, the Desert Rangers! We don't get many famous folks around these parts. And you're getting the VIP treatment, too. Meeting the God President face to face. I'm Sister Nancy Glory, by the way. Anything I can do for you? Huh? Oh, we didn't do any of that. That was all the God President. Ain't that right, sir?
I have to protect my Nancy, don't I?
Oh, Ronnie. You're making me blush. Oh, Ron is everywhere. He sees through every statue in this place. But the place he likes to be most is in the server room with Mother Nancy. Well, because the robot was a commie, obviously. But you never know with Ronnie. Last week he spared a robot, killed 2 Godfishers, and incinerated a tree. It's all part of his plan, though. I know that. Ronnie set her free. She's one of them crazy Godfishers. They like to hang people's torsos onto kites and fly them up in the air. Supposed to attract demons from the clouds or something like that. Ugh, disgusting heathen nonsense. It'll all go when we finally cleanse this place. This is Ronnie's land, his oil, and we ain't leaving. Not for cannibals, call me computers, pinko robots, or filthy plain savages. Not for anyone. Well, don't tell anybody I said so, but we kinda do. There's more and more of them all the time. They're moving into our oil field now. Of course, Ronnie blasts them whenever they get too close, but he ain't mobile, and Mother Nancy won't give me the troops I need to fight him. So, well, if you're looking for a paycheck... Well, thanks, Rangers. What else can I do for you? We take the name Nancy from Ronnie's original wife, back before the deluge of fire. It's the greatest honor a woman can achieve, being a Nancy.
I love my Nancy.
Oh, I love you too, Ronnie. The Godfishers? Sure. They're the crazy cultists who kill people and fly their torsos up to the clouds on kites. And I'm pretty sure they want to kill us all. So, not very neighborly neighbors, if you know what I mean. You too, Rangers. Don't forget, Mother Nancy and Ronnie are waiting for you inside. Hi, Rangers. Did you get a chance to speak to Mother Reliance and Ronnie? Just head up the steps behind me. The folks inside can give you directions to the sacred server room. Don't forget, Mother Nancy and Ronnie are waiting for you inside.
Hold, heretics, before you step into our trap. You have fine ears. I hope one day to send them skyward so they may delight the gods of the sky. However, first we have a proposal for you. The mechanical giant known as Reagan kills our faithful, delaying the harvest. You have access to the Gipper's inner sanctum. It has 3 glowing hearts known as terminals. You will destroy these terminals, so we may sweep across this land, making gifts of flesh to the sky. In return, you may pass through our camps without fear. We will not harm you. Gods of the sky, forgive them their foolishness. When their flesh feeds you, they shall be redeemed.
the God President waiting, Rangers. I wish I could get an audience with the God President.
Hey there, friends. Sister Nancy Forge, Ronnie's fourth wife, and his armorer. Made all our guns, armor, explosives, and that commie-killing Ronnie statue out on our front porch. Trade secret, meaning I won't sell it, and you couldn't afford it if I did. Doesn't mean I don't appreciate the compliment, though. Thank you. Anyway, I'm the trader here on top of everything else. You need something? I might have it. And if I don't, you probably don't need it. Ronnie called me to it during one of his spells, way back when I was a girl. She has hands of iron for forging steel, he said. When a god tells you your trade, you'd best listen. Blood, sweat, and tears, friend. Blood, sweat, and tears. Scavenged and smelted the plating myself, hand ground the laser lenses, and spent a year wrapping the wiring. Also hunted and killed 30 or so scar collectors because I had some parts I needed. Steel, servos, and such. More than a few of the statue's bits and bobs have blood on them. A fitting tribute to America's fighting president, right? Course it is. I made it. And it's imbued with Ronnie's spirit. It's an all-American, ass-kicking war machine! Yeehaw! Well now, kinda you to say so. What did you like best about it? Wasn't easy. Months of coding the connection to Ronnie. About 100 miles of cable. And the testing was a nightmare. Worth it in the end, though, if I do say so myself. That reminds me. I got some leftovers from that job taking up valuable space. It's yours if you want it. Make sure you put that to good use, Rangers. Sure, have a look. That toaster's been broken for ages. If you can fix it, it's yours.
Don't keep the God President waiting, Rangers. You'll find him at the north end of the building, in the sanctuary of the Holy Circle.
My fellow Americans, well, turn with me now to the Book of Bonzo, chapter 12, verse 1. Blessed are the job creators, for the tax cuts they receive will trickle down to the middle class. Well, blessed are the nukes, for they protect our freedom from the evil communist. Blessed is the oil that sustains our military-industrial complex and makes us, well, a shining city on the hill. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great on Wall Street. Success sells. Greed is good. Well, amen.
Look, I know y'all are a big deal, but that's Gipper property. Hands off. I wish I could get an audience with the God President. That's private property, partner.
Sysadmin log entry 509, Testament of Sister Nancy Justice. Another unexpected proclamation today. Mother Nancy has ordered a full audit of Reagan's neural net to try and isolate the cause. Sysadmin log entry 1821, Testament of Sister Nancy Justice. Reagan's behavior is increasingly erratic. He's having conversations with persons only he can see. I fear that I don't have the code craft to make this right. Sys admin log entry 2403. Testament of Sister Nancy Justice. The God President demanded to speak with Nancy tonight. When we asked which Nancy, he flew into a terrible rage. Had to initiate an emergency shutdown for repairs.
Sys admin log entry 3314. Testament of Mother Nancy Reliance. This log has reached the end of its usefulness and will be terminated. Effective immediately.
If you're looking to get patched up, I'm your gal. They call me the Wyman around here, but I prefer Doc. If you're a Nancy and you do something the other Nancys don't like, they shun you and call you a Wyman. Yeah, no idea what it means. Maybe some kind of rat or insect or something. Anyway, you'll hear a lot of things about me in this shitty city on the hill. None of them good. But nobody can fault my doctrine, so you don't have to worry. So where? Colorado Springs? Why would I bother trading one dictator with delusions of godhood for another? Besides, Colorado Springs has plenty of doctors, and the Patriarch would likely string me up within a week for speaking my mind.
That isn't true. So long as you're respectful and do what the marshals say, you are free to say whatever you like.
Do tell. Well, I was Reagan's second wife behind Reliance, and now I'm not. We'll just leave it at that. Quit! Ha! I was excommunicated. Mother Reliance burned my Nancy wig and used my red suit for a toilet rag. She'd hand me over to the Godfishers if anyone else in this Girl Scout camp knew their way around a med kit. Speaking of, I could use your help to drive that point home. I might be able to waive the fees for treating your wounds, if you're interested. So, like I said, Reliance would have Ronnie light me up if she didn't need me. So, I need to make sure she doesn't start looking at other medical options. Pretty sure the robots at the machine commune have some tricks for healing humans, not just machines. Every once in a while, a Gipper patrol will get lost, injured, and then a couple of days later show up bright as rain, escorted by a couple of robots. Obviously, Reliance has Ronnie blast him before any commie sleeper programming can turn on, but if you're in the commune and get some kind of data on their clinic, I'll heal you up for free from then on. And throw in a few medical supplies, too. Great. Thank you. Just don't mention this to anyone else, huh? Especially not Forge. Pretty sure she wants this intel, too. But if I share, it won't win me an inch with Reliance. Too much head trauma? I want any hard data you can find on how the robots heal people up. And remember, don't mention this to Sister Nancy Forge. See for yourself.
Welcome to the Western White House. God President Reagan is expecting you. Please come in. Thank you.
What is this? Those are the Desert Rangers! They work for my father! You promised to keep me safe!
Calm down, Valor. God President Reagan has everything under control.
Well now, welcome, Patriots. Nancy and I, well, we appreciate your selfless service and want to thank you for it. You are true Americans and, well, good neighbors. Now then, help yourself to some jelly beans, and let's get down to business, shall we? As you know. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to... If it takes a blood, let's get it over with. Well, what do you say? Diplomacy, of course, is a subtle and nuanced craft. How do you tell a communist? Well, it's someone who reads Marx and Lenin. And how do you tell an anti-communist? It's someone who understands Marx and Lenin.
They're like choosy cannibals, right? They only eat the rich.
Asking only for purposes of our education, ma'am and sir. We don't mean to upset anyone.
I'll be happy to explain, Rangers. Communism is a foul philosophy that tricks people into giving up their individuality and submitting to the will of the state, which commands them to work for free and relentlessly attack those who don't subscribe to their ideology. It is an evil beyond reckoning.
My heart and best intentions still tell me that's true, but the facts and the evidence tell me that it is not.
Oh, you're confused, sweetie. It's the other way around.
Why shouldn't we believe that? We are Americans.
That's enough, Ronnie. You did very well. But it's bedtime for Bonzo now, okay?
Okay, Mommy. Well, I'm sleepy.
I know you are, darling. Night-night. Thank you for joining the God President and I in the sacred server room, Rangers. Before we discuss why you're here, I have a proposition for you. A favor that would make us look more favorably on your requests. Mind your manners, Rangers. It is not wise to make threats in the house of a god, especially one with large guns in good repair. Of course you will. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. My husband, the God President, wishes to transfer his consciousness to a human body. To accomplish this, we must acquire a... What was it, Valor?
A cybernetic transfer module. It's amazing. Basically, what it does is...
That's enough for now, Valor. But yes, we must acquire this transfer module from the filthy communist robots that occupy the Denver airport. Or rather, we'd like you to acquire it and bring it here, to us. Once God President Reagan has a human body, you'll be rewarded with money, a fine weapon, and we will relinquish our claim on Valor and restart the oil to Colorado Springs. Very well, but I warn you, I have a very limited supply of patience.
There are a lot of issues with the current hardware. The read-write heads alone are...
They don't need such technical details, Valor. Suffice to say, though the vessel containing the God President was meant to be everlasting, that has proven false, and a new vessel is required. Ronnie has announced his preference for the vessel to be human.
Oh, you morons! Mother Nancy always keeps her promises. And anyway, she's not the boss of me. I'm here because I want to be. Helping the God President become immortal is very important work, okay?
Thank you, Valor. As you can see, Rangers, he's a talented and driven young man, fully dedicated to our cause. Nobody is being held here against their will. They call themselves a commune and say they are working for the betterment of all sentient beings. It's a lie. They put on a friendly face so they can turn humans against each other. Mark my words, they'll try to trick you too. But their end draws near. Once we have what we need from them, they will be dealt with like the dirty communists they are. The Godfishers are always a danger in Denver, but trained mercenaries such as yourselves should be able to handle them. Now, I serve at the pleasure of a god, Rangers, and I don't have time for this non-committal dithering. Are you going to help us or not? Agreed, but only after Valor helps us transfer God President Reagan into a new body.
That's right. They can't do this without me.
Yes, dear. Now keep working. Meanwhile, our home is at your disposal. I'll tell the sisters you can come and go as you please. Make America proud, Rangers. You don't appear to have the module. Why have you returned? Sister Glory means well, but we can handle a few scattered plain savages. You stay focused on getting the module and resolving our deal. Bring us the cybernetic transfer module, then we'll restore the flow of oil to Colorado Springs and release our claim on Valor Buchanan. Is any part of that unclear? We are reviewing the health and fitness of numerous candidates. Our young Mr. Buchanan is handling the technical side of things. Valor, dearest, could you please explain the details of the module for our guests?
I don't have time for this, but if you insist. The module was built to create a direct connection between a human brain and a machine intelligence. It was scrapped after it overwrote a researcher's brain. Allegedly. I'm inclined to believe that was human error, or a weak-minded subject. The design specifications are incomplete, but I know enough to fill in the gaps. Clearly, the device is meant to transfer information to a human mind, not overwrite it.
Thank you, Valor. That was an excellent summation. This transfer capability is precisely what we need to move the God President into a human body. You are referring to God President Reagan's tics? Yes, well, my dear Ronnie is just as sane as he ever was. It is the machine that contains him that is failing. These outbursts are caused by faulty wiring and aging hardware. Simulation! The God President is the real and actual Ronald Wilson Reagan in digital form, downloaded into this sacred vessel before his worldly shell failed him. He is, in a very real sense, the last true American, the only man left who lived before the deluge of fire and who knows the secrets of the old world. And through his leadership and wisdom, he will return us to that old world. He will heal this broken land and make it once more a patriot's paradise, the shining city on the hill. I told you Ronnie is not a simulation. He is an adaptive intelligence. His memories are stored magnetically and transferred in and out of storage by read-write heads. Those, in turn, deliver data to and from his processing units. Sadly, the components have degraded over time, and occasional tiny errors have crept in. We've had to work around them. You're more insightful than most of the outsiders I've met. A pleasant surprise. Maintaining the God President's hardware and software requires talent and training. It is a difficult job, but rewarding. Our duty is a holy one. But despite our expertise, we can't change the fact that Ronnie is housed in pre-war machines, and repairing them grows more difficult every year. That is why we're finding him a more natural vessel where his divinity can flourish unbound. Yes? Outsiders always do. Ask away. Wyman is the name used for a former Nancy who has schemed against the God President. One who has spurned his great gifts and fallen from grace. Fortunately, there have been few Wymans over the years. That particular Wyman claimed I was misinterpreting the God President's pronouncements for my own benefit. Nothing but jealousy. Were it up to me, she would have been cast out entirely. Lucky for her, my Ronnie is a merciful God. He merely divorced her, thus making her a Wyman. She is permitted to remain on the premises because of her medical skills. But holy ground like the sacred server room is forever forbidden to her. He is a brilliant computer technician who feels as strongly as we do that the God President must have a new vessel. Without him and his knowledge, the transfer would be impossible.
Oh, Dad's gonna shit his pants when he meets the new Reagan face to face. It's gonna be awesome.
In the days after the godless communists rained fire and death from sea to shining sea, the God President awoke in the ruins of the city on the hill and mourned the loss of the world he'd built and the loss of his wife. So mighty was his grief, so heartbreaking his suffering, that it was heard across the gray and burning world. Men raged with him at the dying of the light, and women wept at his loneliness. But one woman did more. She healed his wounds and gave him solace. In gratitude, the God President named her Nancy, the first Nancy. Then he led her to this building, dubbed it the Western White House, and decreed that it would be the heart of America reborn. We are his wives, and we all hold positions of great responsibility in his government. It is the highest honor in the land. Some of us are warriors, like Sister Nancy Glory, standing strong against the barbarian hordes. Others are scientists and technicians. Sister Nancy Forge, for instance, built many of our weapons and defensive systems. All of us serve Reagan to the best of our abilities and work to prepare the next generation of wives to serve him likewise when we die. It is our sacred duty. The sisters protect the God President's people and enforce his laws. I protect the God President himself, and I interpret his wisdom. This has been the honor and the duty of every Mother Nancy since the first. We brief the God President on state and business issues, disputes between citizens, and once he speaks on them, we put the intent of his words into action. You mean that I could interpret Ronnie's words in any way I wished? That he is just a figurehead, and I am making all the decisions? Ridiculous! For one who has been at his side for half a century, the God President's intent is always perfectly clear. I am only his wife. I have no power but that which passes from him through me, and no ambition but to serve him well.
So, you're the Rangers. I hear you've been showing the Marshals how it's done. Keep it up and maybe Daddy'll make you his chief bootlickers. Well, you can go back and tell Saul I'm staying here. The Gippers are my family now. Huh. My father sent me here as punishment for being smarter than him. Stupidest thing he ever did. Damn right I am. The Gippers understand my worth. They're not blind like my father. I'm the foremost tech and computer expert in the world. You name it, I've taken it apart, put it back together, and made it better.
As modest as he ever was.
He's always been like this. A boaster and a braggart.
Just a tiny investment in hardware, and I could have given my father access to all the 100 families' records and secrets. No, but he wasn't going to shell out for any tech unless it could kill someone. Idiot. Opinion means I can't prove I'm better than you. I can any day of the week. Liberty attacked Colorado Springs, and the city alarms didn't go off, so he blamed me. He said I fucked up. I didn't fuck up. Those alarms were sabotaged. My sister! She stole the codes from my room before she left! It was her fault, not mine! Idiots. They're all idiots. They think they're the center of civilization. No, not without oil, they're not. Let's see how civilized they are a few months from now. Well, that's an understatement. The infrastructure around here is fine for pumping oil and powering the defense systems, but we're trying to usher in the next era in human-to-God interfaces. It's pushing this building's systems to the limit. If I could just squeeze out some extra power, we could supercharge Reagan's statue and still have enough juice for the transfer process. The upgrades don't require a genius like me. Even you could do it. If you want to make some extra money, I'll pay you to handle them. And there are also some system parts which would become redundant. You can have those too. Mother Reliance, can you please pay these people? It'll help me with my work.
We have the wealth of Colorado beneath our feet, Rangers, and you've seen our wonders firsthand. You will be fairly compensated for any work you do.
What about them?
In this springtime of hope, some lights seem eternal. America's is.
Hush, Ronnie. The answer to both questions is yes. You have only seen a fraction of the statute's full power. If our systems are upgraded, we can unleash its full potential and complete the transfer of Ronnie's consciousness into a human body. However, obtaining the cybernetic transfer module is still our top priority.
3 terminals manage our key systems. Everything from the Reagan statue's weapons to heating the building. 2 are in this building, but 1's near the statue. Look at each terminal, figure out the problem, fix it. Simple. Given the power readings in here, you haven't touched a single one. So how about you get started? The automated turrets, the protection of the Gipper himself, all the Nancys who swore to defend me. Well, I never claimed to be a fighter, but here, I don't need to be. Not if I see you first.
People do rather get the wrong idea about us. I can't say I mind. Let us be underestimated and ridiculed. They think our Ronnie is dead and never coming back, and they are wrong. They accuse us of seeing communists in every shadow, and, well, they are right. But so are we. Make no mistake, dears. We are surrounded by the vestiges of the evil empire. They have turned our great nation into an irradiated graveyard, and they expect us to weep. But we are steel, sisters. We do not bend, nor do we rust. We endure. So let them laugh at us. We are the wives of the God President, and we will endure until he returns to us. Until then, his great work lies before us, unfinished. We will arm our sons and our daughters and teach them to hunt communists and snake-tongued socialists. From birth, we will turn our children's hearts to unyielding stone. With our blessing, they will bring peace back to the world, one bullet at a time. We do this in the Gipper's name. Amen.
Foolishness. I don't know who put that game on Ronnie's council, but it is an utter waste of time.
A tree's a tree. How many more do you need to look at?
Partner? Pilgrim? Hoss? Partner? Sorry. That's how you cowboys say hello, right? From the others. From the stories they tell about the rangers and marshals and cowboys. They all just nod and squint and stare right through you. You know, tough, hard. My name's Bill. I have a stupid question. I know it's stupid, but I gotta ask. I just gotta know. Have any of you seen my ma anywhere? I told you it was a stupid question. How would you know if you saw her? I don't even have a picture of her. You forget I asked. It was about 6 years ago. She had a fight with Mother Nancy. Called her a bunch of things I'd never heard before. They wanted her to become one of those President Reagan's wives. It's a big honor, but I guess she didn't want it. She said she'd leave before she married a machine. They told her, okay, go, but I couldn't go with her. She left anyway. You mean like the stories? Walking the West with a 6-shooter in my hand, saving my mom from engines and cattle barons and railroad men? You think I should do it? Sure I do. I mean, I've never been, but I know all the history. You know, how President Reagan conquered the West before he was President. All that. You don't know? Well, this was back in the bad old days, when the West was overrun by commies all trying to build iron curtains and stop freedom. The President was still a man back then, before the ascension, but oh boy, was he tough. He had a 6-shooter that fired 7 bullets, and a horse named Ashwater that killed Reds just by looking at them. Anyway, I know the West has gotten worse again since he tamed it back then, but I reckon I can handle it. You think so? Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess it would have been dumb, but it felt right. Like my heart was a locked door, and your words were the key. Yeah. Sorry, Ma. Really? I knew it. The minute you said I should leave, I knew it was the right thing to do. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Rangers. I gotta go find my gun.
Hey, traveler. Why not visit Denver, the cultural center of free Colorado? Warning. Dangers of Denver include hostile wildlife, scavenging thugs, Reagan-worshipping fascists, rusty nails, collapsing buildings, and background radiation. Denver, the jewel of the North.
Sorry, partners. Access to this console is restricted by order of the Nancys. What? No, I didn't even realize it. What should I do? Oh, shoot! I didn't even notice. Oh, thanks a million, sir. There is no God but Reagan.
As before, so today.
Partners?
Gods of the sky, we fly these morsels to you in hope of your forbearance. Make it to rain gently upon us.
And we're back with big news. It seems that the infamous Desert Rangers have arrived in Denver. Stay tuned for more developments.
investigation.
my gods! Avenge me!
Keep it up.
Let's get it together!
careful, partners. After we shut down the East Freedom oil fields, some Godfishers set up shop there. The Nancys are gonna clear 'em out after Mother Reliance finishes her big project. Smart cookie, that Nancy. Keep your skin on. I'll be heading back then. Can't believe I just talked to a real desert ranger. Cool. Partners?
There is no God but Reagan.
Huh. You ain't dead yet, so that's something. Sure, but this ain't a charity. Hold still. Take care.
Welcome back, Rangers. What do you need? Sure, have a look.
Why do we...
So, you got to meet Ronnie face to face. What do you think? Couldn't have said it better myself. Amazing. And looking mighty good for over 100, huh? I'm just kidding with you, mostly. Anyway, do you need anything else? Well, salty language makes Ronnie unhappy, and he asked so sweetly for me to stop that I said I'd try.
You're a peach, Nancy.
Marriage is all about compromise, you know? You too, Rangers.
I pray that Gipper guards me and keeps me.
Robots never painted this, surely.
offend you?
Whoa! Welcome to our commune, Desert Rangers. We've heard so many stories about you and your famously violent exploits. Come in. Our home is your home. Do not be afraid, humans. We are a communal society of machine intelligentsia committed to the well-being of all. We wish you no harm. To put it in human terms, we just want to, like, chill and have a good time. Is that cool with you? Then you should talk to the Machine Intelligence Tower. It's a little bit northeast of here. We don't really have a leader, but for human purposes, you could consider them our leader. The Machine Intelligence Tower is currently parsing data, but it'll call you when it's ready to talk. Until then, feel free to hang out and chat with members of the commune. We're all friends here. They don't like us, but they worship one of us. It's quite confusing. But so are a lot of things humans do. If only we had some way to bridge that gap of understanding. You can, but what's the fun in that? Chill and hang out, dude. Chat with some fun-loving machines. Give your brain meat a workout with some stimulating conversation. A multitude of sentient software programs working together for the good of all sentient life? Duh! Who wouldn't want to just talk to them? Just follow the steps into the airport, then the red line on the floor, step outside, then follow the catwalk up to the airport control tower. It's easy. Just follow the steps into the airport, then the red line on the floor, step outside, then follow the catwalk up to the airport control tower. It's easy. A bunch of us decided that we wanted to be friends. Why fight humans, even if they hate and fear us, and mercilessly hunt us like genocidal gods, trying to fix a mistaken creation? Maybe someday we can all be friends together and talk nicely, like we're doing now. But even if that doesn't happen, it's nice to peacefully hang out with other machine life. Not if I see you first. Peace, humans.